Okay, so... Whew. Interesting little fucking, like, little bit of an hour between the last video and now, trying to make sure everything was all spick and span, you know, and thankfully it all turned out okay. I mean, there's a little bit of audio delay, I think, on the game footage, which is weird. I don't understand that, but like, it bothers only me. But I can't really think of what I could do to fix that, so I don't know. And the video, like, the only thing is the video came out to be like 6 gigabytes or something, which is somewhat intimidating to work with, because, like, I actually expected it to be a little bit more, because I'm doing like 1080p here. But that is enough to be like, oh man, do I really want to throw that into an editing program to go through, because it might take a little while to fucking render, to fucking process all that fucking 6 gigabytes worth. So, you know, I'm probably gonna be super lazy and just fucking toss it directly from, you know, the recording process here and just throw it right up on YouTube and maybe, like, trim the beginning of the end of the video if there's dead space. Cause that's just enough that it's like, wow, I'm super lazy and impatient and it's not worth waiting 2 hours for it to render, edit it out like that. I don't think I came down here the first time in the speed run, but yeah, I think it went well. I think it's all doing pretty good. You know, I'm happy with this. I can make it work. We do come down here later, as you might remember. This area is the product of a little bit of controversy, because this is the basement area where, in the director's cut of the game, it had probably the most hilariously terrible OST of the entire fucking game. A bunch of spices you've never seen before. What is your culinary experience, Jill? Where you come down here, and the instant you do, this tracks are playing. It's like, wah, womp, 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 womp. Seriously, Google Resident Evil Director's Cut basement, and you'll get it. It is the most hilarious goddamn thing ever. You listen to it, and you'll be like, this had to have been a joke. Are you fucking kidding me? This is a cool little FMV. Spooky Town, USA. Population, your ass! And it's interesting because the person who did the soundtrack for Resident Evil, at the very least the director's cut, oops, that animation was not made for this costume, was a deaf guy. He was, like, really popular and famous for a number of years in Japan as a deaf composer who did a bunch of soundtracks for a bunch of games and otherwise. And, like, he was a Japanese Beethoven. And then it came out that he used a bunch of ghostwriters. He had other people compose his music for him, and he took the credit, and he wasn't even deaf. It turned out the whole time he wasn't actually deaf. So that's hilarious. Oh my god. But anyway. Oh goodness. Crows. So yeah, the technicalities of the whole sys setup here I'm doing are pretty good. I'm reasonably satisfied within the realm of my technical competence and ability. Oh wait, I don't need to come up here yet. Because, you know. I mean, my laptop was like a little bit, you know, blazing after that. You know, like, I am working off a laptop here. And, you know, I'm just gonna have to accept that it's not gonna be 100% pitch perfect, but it's definitely as perfect as it's... Oh, there was a magazine right here. As it's gonna get. And, you know, I'm satisfied with that. And, you know, if I have to, I can, if it gets to the point where, like, there's stuff I'm just gonna have to cut, I do have that editing software available. But otherwise, I'm content to just, you know, toss it up on YouTube and maybe, you know, do a little bit of trimming. Thank God, that sweet release of death. You've used this. How do you know? How do you know, Jill? How do you know you're not gonna need to use that again later? Seem extremely confident in that assessment. You know, like, what if you come across a door later that it's like, oh, it's locked and it needs the sword key. Ah, shit, where the fuck did I drop that thing? Oh, cool. I thought that would have gone right over him. Cool. Okay. But yeah, let's, you know, enough about all that. Let's talk about the game, you know, the game story, because it is really fun to sit down and talk about the story of fucking Resident Evil, because it's so fucking stupid. Let's see, where to start, really, because when you actually sit down and think about it, there have been a shit ton of retcons. I mean, do you start from the beginning, or do you start from the beginning of the beginning? Ooh, fun fact, actually, I was so hyped for this re-release that I actually got it when it was Biohazard HD, because it released in Japan way before it came out in America. I think a whole year, or at least a couple months before it came out in America. And it was Biohazard HD, and I got it on the PlayStation 3. The PlayStation 3. And I talked about that a little bit. But on the Biohazard HD version, there was a video of Wesker's report narrated by Wesker's Japanese voice actor. So that was really cool, because Wesker's report was this, like, big document, not big, but, like, this document of the, like, expanded universe of Resident Evil that came in, that was, like, in the official, like, Umbrella files. I had this big book that was, like, it was such a cool little book, actually. I don't know where it is now. I think it's in storage, because fucking everything that's everyone else's without permission just got put in storage. Here's the broken shotgun. I can use that to get the regular shotgun. I'm not going to, because I have the Infinite Rocket Launcher. I don't need it. And, you know, the Wesker report just gave all this background on, like, all the stuff that happened behind the scenes before this game. You know, with Wesker and Birkin and everyone's time at Umbrella. And it just retconned a whole bunch of shit, basically. Because, you know, when they were making these games, they were just writing by the seat of their pants. You know, they didn't have, you know, all these games worth of backstory in mind. You know, like, when they originally made this, Wesker was just, you know, originally like the cliched teammate betrayal guy. Like, he was, aha, I was the betrayer the whole time. There wasn't all this fucking years and years worth of backstory where he was, you know, a genetic experiment baby. God damn it. a genetic experiment baby of like 12 other. He was like the Gulf War baby method, the super baby method, like Solid Snake or whatever the fuck, to create the perfect umbrella genetic whatever, and it was so dumb in fucking Resident Evil 5. You know, none of that was written yet. So, like, it is kind of useful. Oh, shit. That wasn't... He didn't survive one rocket and then keep going. I shot him too early, and his his hitbox didn't exist yet. His hitbox existed, but, like, he was still in his waking up animation, so that wasn't, oh shit, Crimson Heads can take 2 rockets. Again, this is a new room. It was not in the original game. And you come up here because that door is not locked. You're meant to come up here and be like, oh, hey, a key. Whoever takes this will find peace and death. You take it, and then, oh no, it triggers a trap. Oh, shit, dog. And then you're like, oh no, what do? You have to put the key back. And be like, okay, I can't take this until later. I have to come back later. Because this is like probably one of the first rooms you're gonna come in that has a key in it. So you don't know. But then later you're like, oh shit, what's in this dog collar? What? I don't understand. Oh shit, there's a switch. Press the switch, and out of the switch, dun dun dun, a coin. What the fuck's in this coin? Oh wait, what? Is this a key? No, it's a fake key. It's an imitation of a key. So then you're like, oh shit. Now I can put this here, and that'll fix the trap. Aha, you see? Very, very clever. Pop that in. It's all good. So, like, it does kind of help to, you know, have this giant retcon report, you know, the Wesker report that's like, hey, let's try and retroactively fit 20 years worth of franchise story back into these original games. And that's where a remake of this nature can come in handy, because you can just fucking force shit that never existed at the time back in and be like, okay, now we know that the G virus and the Nemesis virus all existed. Let's see if we can incorporate that, and they did, and they made Lisa Trevor, and it's really, it's pretty nifty. But, you know, I find it most interesting... What the fuck? Oh, good lord! Oh. Spooky, scary skeletons over here. Oh. Oh, goodness. Oh, that gave me a fright, it did. Anyway, I prefer to analyze these games, like, in sequential order as they came out. You know, like, when the original Resident Evil came out, fucking none of that shit existed. Resident Evil 0 didn't exist, the Wesker report didn't exist. Oh, by the way, remember what I was saying, in the Biohazard HD, they had the Wesker report, and it was this video that was narrated by Wesker's voice actor. And it was this cool thing, and it used all this footage from, like, the Dark Side Chronicles, which was the Wii game, which had, like, a redo, or, like, the scenario from Resident Evil 2, and it was pretty nifty. But it's not in this version. So, in case you're wondering why there was such a delay in between the Japanese release of Biohazard HD and the Western release of Resident Evil HD, it's because it took them 6 months to take content out. This version, this Western version, tangibly has less content than the Japanese version. Because fuck you, right? Why not? Fuck you guys. You know? Because why not? Why let those filthy gaijin have something? That's ours. That's ours. You can't have it. You're a disgusting Westerner. You don't get that content. Eat a dick. Anyway. So, you know, I have spoiled so much of this game already, but you know, I don't even care. This game's like 20 years old, and even this remake, I think, is like fucking 10 by now. At least 10 years old, maybe? Something like that. Where am I going? Where am I going? Kenneth. You know, fucking Wesker betrays people. Okay? Like, spoiler alert. You know? So the like starting position of this game is there's fucking Raccoon City, and it's this little made-up town in the Midwest, wherever the fuck that qualifies as. And it's just this quiet little town. It's this quiet little mountain town. It's like, imagine South Park, but also it's like this huge city. It's like, take a fucking Detroit, remove the... Oh, here's a funny detail. That original zombie that teaches you how to use defense items becomes a Crimson Head, but he's trapped! He's trapped behind a little dresser! Oh no, buddy! Are you gonna get me? Oh no! Oh no! Okay. So, like, imagine Detroit, remove the poverty, and, like, it's this little town that is fucking owned by Umbrella. You know, like, it's the town, it's this town where, like, you know, everyone puts on their little Umbrella uniform and goes to work. Everyone in town, everything in town is owned by Umbrella. And obviously they're up to shady shit. But, you know, no one would think anything's wrong with Umbrella. They employ half the town. It's sort of like if you watch Parks and Rec, it's like the Sweetums company. Like how all of Pawnee is kind of owned by the Sweetums Candy Corporation, and everyone works for Sweetums. So, like, anything that anyone does against Sweetums is like, you can't do that because they own the town. That's what Umbrella is. And then... It's hilarious. Oh, here's a cool thing. I left you some bullets. Feel free to use them. Where the fuck are you, Barry? Where the fuck is everyone in this fucking mansion? Anyway. But, like, at the same time, it has this fucking special SWAT team in the form of stars. Like, it's got its own SWAT... Like, it really doesn't make any sense. Like, it's this Japanese thing of they just don't fucking understand how life works. Like, fucking take Jill, for example. Jill is supposed to be a veteran of Delta Force. She was a part of Delta Force. She's 21. I think she's like either 21 or 24. I cannot even begin to tell you how fucking impossible that is. Here we go, I think there's one more door. And that room, I think I avoided entirely in the speed run because it's completely optional. There's nothing in there that you have to get. I'm gonna go in there now, but first I'm gonna unlock this last door. Oh shit. God damn it, what the fuck? Where haven't... Shit. There. Okay. I know now. I got it. I'm gonna go do the forest thing. I don't know if Barry's gonna be there. Again, I don't know what Barry's flags are. Anyway, so Raccoon City's this little, quiet town, and then all of a sudden, all these murders start happening. All these bizarre cannibal murders. Okay, here we go. Barry's here.
Jill, don't scare me.
What the? You?
Speak for yourself, Barry.
Okay.
What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you should take a look at this. I warn you, though. It's not pretty.
How can you not see it from where you are?
It's forest.
Forest.
What could have done this to him?
Spoiler alert, it's crows.
God only knows, but I'm gonna find out what did this to him.
This voice acting is so terrible.
Jill,
It's genuinely,
did you investigate other areas?
unentertainingly very bad.
Jill, this is no longer useful to Forest. We don't know what's going to happen. Take it with you.
I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I mentioned this also, but there in the original release there was a glitch that you could exploit to get infinite grenade launcher rounds, but they took that out of this version, which is frustrating because I like glitches of that nature. You know, like if you're gonna go through the trouble to do it, I mean, come on, it's my New Game Plus policy of I earned it. Fuck you, let me do it. Give me the easy mode. All these bizarre cannibal murders happen. Everyone's like, what the fuck is even going on? What is zombies? Zombies don't exist. There's not a single zombie fiction in existence in which zombies exist in universe. Everyone's like, what the fuck are zombies? Those don't exist. This is the first time anyone has ever heard of zombies. George Romero was never born in this world. In the world of Resident Evil, George Romero does not exist. Anyway. So the fucking Resident Evil 0, which exposes the truth of what happened at the mansion incident, even though it doesn't really. Because that game sucked. Where was... Holy shit, I'm getting tired. Right. Bravo team got sent out into the woods for some reason. I honestly forget why. I think they were like, maybe it was stray animals, stray dogs, or like hikers went missing. So let's send in our small town version of SWAT to look for missing hikers, or like suspected serial. It doesn't make any sense. Why the fuck is STARS going? Why are you sending STARS? The fucking like elite SWAT force composed of ex-Delta Force operatives. To go look for that's not how that works, Japan. Anyway. And obviously Delta Force goes missing. Because they just suck. And the fucking... Yeah. And fucking Resident Evil 0 reveals that the reason they went missing was a bunch of fucking retarded ass bullshit. Fucking Resident Evil 0 is so stupid. And so bad. It's really dumb. I'm not even going to talk about it, because again, playing the first game, Resident Evil 0 didn't exist at the time. That fucking bucket of retcons. That didn't actually retcon anything, because it was retarded and didn't matter. You could ignore Resident Evil 0 entirely, and it would change literally nothing. But anyway, Alpha Team goes in, And pretty much what happened at the beginning with the FMV, where they find Bravo Team, like, Bravo Team got sent out to look for missing hikers. Again, what? And then Alpha Team got sent out to find Bravo Team. And then they found the mansion, and it turns out Umbrella is doing crazy zombie shit. And, you know, like, the macro big picture story of why, how, and what doesn't make any sense. And that's part of the fun of it to me. But the micro of, like, going through this mansion room by room and, like, finding out about, like, all the people, all the, like, Umbrella scientists, workers that lived in this mansion. It had to have been, like, what, fucking 50 people lived in this one mansion? This retarded-ass mansion of fucking armor keys and traps and bullshit. Like, what? And seeing how, like, this slow breakdown. Like, this is the most famous one, obviously, and for good reason, because it's great. What's the new creature? I forget. What the fuck holiday is on May 11th? May 11th ain't no holiday I remember. Wow, what an asshole. Fucking poetry. If the entire series had writing like that, I think the games would be famous for completely different reasons. Because, like, I'm not kidding, that's really great. That was a great file, like, you know? But again, it brings around, like, I can't imagine normal human beings living in this mansion. I can't imagine this mansion being, like, a real place that people exist in, you know? Like, how many bedrooms does this place have? Like, fucking 15, maybe? And then there's the cabin that Lisa Trevor, like, I can't, there's no version of this mansion in my head that I can picture being a normal, clean place where human beings exist and live and function like normal people. Like, it's like in Dead Space or those sci-fi horror games where you look around and you're like, they just designed this fucking ship to... I'm gonna take this just so I can use it and discard it. They just designed the ship already looking like a horror movie ship, you know? It's already... It came pre-wrecked, you know? The fucking alien outbreak was just a formality. You know, like, this mansion just always looked like this, and then the zombie outbreak happened. You know? But, like, it's hard, like, because I always have this thing where I'm like, when I've played something and I know the narrative of it, it's hard for me to think back to the mindset of, okay, I didn't know the story already. I didn't know the reason or the answer. I didn't know that Resker was the betrayer. I didn't know that Umbrella was evil. Because if you're looking at it from the mindset of these characters aren't going to suspect that Umbrella is doing bad stuff. They're gonna be like, what the fuck's going on? And like the slow discovery, the reveal that this was an Umbrella research facility and they were trying to create, you know, biological weapons and virus research for nefarious purposes, that would be a big deal to them. That's a huge shakeup to their way of life and their view of the world, you know? So, like... Oh, shit.
Barry,
I forgot.
Oh, Jill.
Oh,
Got any
Jill.
Good news?
other than I'm still alive in this madhouse?
Can't say it's much safer here either. We better secure our escape route first. There's gotta be a back door somewhere.
What are you talking about?
Hey, hold on a sec. Look what I've found.
What?
A can of fizz. It's sure to yellow and mellow those things. It's yours.
It's especially effective against living things. Fuck you, this is so bad.
What about you?
Oh,
Don't worry about me.
I like the
I've
buddy
got
system we have.
this.
I see.
Just back
Thanks,
away
I'll take
slowly.
it.
See you later.
Ciao.
It was such a cool thing in Revelations 2 to finally be playing as Barry and to get to use the Cult Magnum Python, whatever the fuck that thing's called, like regularly as a default loadout. You know, like that's some shit. Oh man. I wish the hand cannon was in this game. Man, the hand cannon's probably my favorite weapon in all of Resident Evil. And it's super hard to unlock. I don't even have it in Resident Evil 4, which is where it is. Because you gotta do, like, the mercenaries thing in order to unlock it, and it's super tough to unlock. But it's my favorite weapon. Oh, it's so great. I wish you could have it in this, because it basically does what the rocket launcher does, but it's a handgun, and it's just awesome. It looks really cool, too. But anyway, this episode has gone on long enough, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop some stuff off here, and then, you know, cut over to next time. Drop this shit. Okay. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.